Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're the hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every day, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can view all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues that affect you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
So it's a much smaller difference, but it's at least something that's a little bit better. That just incentivizes us to not have to play around with cash too much, having an LGIP, moving it over to checking, all of that. Since we can make a decent amount of money, interest or comparable amount on it, we just have a boatload of cash in the checking account so that we don't have to manage our cash balances very strongly. So that's what that is. I know the city treasurer does track what those monthly amounts are to make sure that we are getting what we're supposed to be getting. There have been a few months where it hasn't worked out, and she's reached out to the bank and it's come back in as a separate account. So it might not be reflecting quite right in the percentage, but my understanding is we are receiving the interest that we're supposed to be receiving based on that arrangement.
Okay, and I do see I'm one decimal place off. Yeah, it went from 20 million to 28 million between June and July.
So that's probably that state aid that we got in July that then I settle out on in August.
I just figured I'd give the committee a little excitement tonight.
80 million is a very large dollar amount.
Surprise.
I guess any other questions on that one before I go to the next report? No? Also in the packet is the CSLFRF, or the Coronavirus State and Local Financial Resource Fund. I think I got one of those letters wrong. It's basically the COVID money, the ARPA money that we got. We did an examination report as of the end of 2023 that's been completed and filed with the Department of Treasury. There were no findings that were as a result of that, so everything looked good. I'll pause there too in case there's questions. No? Excellent. A couple other things. The adopted CIP is posted out to the website, so if you're interested, that is available. Still working through the 2025 budget. We have, I think, 3 weeks still to wrap that up before it goes out to you and the public. And then GFOA was on site late last week to kick off our payroll project. So that was a fun way to end the week, get kind of moving along on that. That's it.
Thanks so much, Misty. Next item on the agenda is review of bills. 5A, detailed review of checks for $10,000 and above for the period of August 1st to 15th, 2024, totaling $1,689,729.12. Questions? Moving on to 5B, detailed review of all checks issued, checks 127338 to 127414 from August 1st to the 15th, 2024, totaling $1,811,980.93. Questions? Seeing none, moving on to 5C, detailed review of P-card transactions for $10,000 and above for the cycle ending July 8th, 2024, totaling $113,453.92. Questions? Moving on to 5D, review of P-card transactions for the cycle ending July 8th, 2024, totaling $251,982.36. Questions? All right, moving on to the action items. 6A, I need a motion on Resolution R-14824, approval to purchase replacement firefighting turnout gear. Moved by Alder Wheeler. And Chief?
Thank you. So we follow standards by the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA 1851, which is the standard on selection, care, and maintenance of protective ensembles for structural firefighting and proximity firefighting gear. That turnout gear has a 10-year lifespan. So what we're looking for in this resolution is to order 12 replacement sets of gear that will expire in the fall of this year.
Wonderful. Questions?
Couple of questions. How many total sets do we have? Does 12, what does that represent as a fraction of our total?
Well, right now there's approximately 48 individuals on the department. So anything that doesn't meet that 10-year, we keep in reserve. Full-time firefighters get 2 sets of gear. So if they're on duty, they go to a structure fire, they get back, they're able to switch over into their extra set of gear. So we approximately have about 60 sets of gear. And it all depends on when we bring people on is when we order new gear. So this year it's 12 sets. Next year it could be 8. So it just happened to be 12 sets for this year.
Great.
How are the old sets disposed of? Is that?
So we go through them and we box them up, and then I, following ordinance, send that to Misty. She asks all department heads if, since it's surplus gear, if they have any need for it. If not, then we bring it to the finance committee on since it is surplus equipment. Typically, it can't be used here in the United States because it has went over that 10-year max for NFPA. So a lot of times it will go to other countries that take donations of firefighting gear because it's way better than what they have currently. So we've done that in the past where it's been donated to an organization that then sends it out of country, or they're just simply recycled.
Okay,
But
so,
that's on the approval of the Finance Committee.
interesting.
And I think we need an amendment
Yes.
as well.
Yeah,
Bill, do you want?
the resolution needs to be amended. Let me look here.
I believe a reference to 14 needs to be changed to reference to 12.
Correct. And it's in the actual text of the resolution, the first, now be it hereby resolved. It says by the Fitchburg Common Council that it approves the purchase of 14 sets of replacement turnout gear. That should say 12 sets. Yes.
All right. So we can start with the amendment to, let's vote on the amendment to change 14 to 12. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any other questions? All in favor of Resolution R 14824, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next item of business. Resolution R 15024, approving purchase of a 3/4 ton utility truck.
I'll move approval of resolution R15024.
Moved by Alder Jetzer. Tim, Public Works Director, you want to take it on?
Yes. This resolution is approving the purchase of a 3/4 ton utility truck. The 2024 capital improvement plan and budget includes $52,200 for the replacement of an existing utility truck. The utility typically purchases vehicles through the state bid process. Utility acquired 2 quotes for a 2023 Dodge Ram 2500 with service body that were below the state bid price for a truck with similar capabilities. Funds are available in the budget for this truck. We're looking for approval of the purchase of a 3/4 ton Ram utility truck in the amount of $50,434.00.
Thank you so much for your due diligence in getting additional quotes, because I think the state contract is typically less expensive than going outside, right?
Yeah, typically it is. On this particular vehicle, we were able to save $19,000 when you take into the utility box into that cost.
Well, I appreciate that due diligence. Questions? Seeing none, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R 15024, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item 7, announcements. Our next finance meeting is September 10th, 2024. I will take a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:12 p.m. Thank you.